आज हम लोग द बेस्ट क्रिसमस प्रेजेंट इन द वर्ल्ड की समरी देखेंगे। चैप्टर हैज़ बीन कंप्लीटेड। नीचे लिंक दे दूँगी मैं, तो लिंक से जाके आप लोग पार्ट 1 एंड पार्ट 2 देख सकते हो। उसमें पूरा चैप्टर को हिंदी में एक्सप्लेन किया है मैंने, विथ वर्ड मीनिंग्स, विथ सम फोटोज। कुछ कुछ थिंग्स हैं जो कि आपको पता नहीं है, लाइक व्हीकल चेयर, trenches, what are they? I've shown images of. So go and check those videos. और समरी आएगी, इसके बाद एक एनसीईआरटी सॉल्यूशंस की वीडियो आएगी। तो ये रहा समरी और उसके बाद आएगी एनसीईआरटी सॉल्यूशंस। लेट्स स्टार्ट। The best Christmas present in the world is written by Michael Moore. The story starts with the author deciding to buy an old roll of film. He spotted one in a junk shop in Britain. It was in bad condition but was reasonable. So he thought that he could restore it and bring it home. He started working on it on the eve of Christmas. He pulled out the drawers and found them in a damaged condition. The large drawer stuck fast, and the author had to apply more force to open it. That is called brute force. Finally, the drawer opened and he found a shallow space inside. Inside the drawer, there was another small drawer, secret drawer. On it, there was a piece of lined notepaper, and it was written, Jim's last letter received January 25, 1950, to be buried with me when the time comes. Inside the box, he found an envelope, and the address mentioned on it was Mrs. G. Macpherson, 12 Copper Beeches, Bridport, Dorset. He took out the letter and unfolded it. It was written in pencil and with a date at the top, December 26, 1940. So that letter was written on 26th December and it was received on 25th January. It was written in a handwriting with pencil. He found an envelope in that secret drawer. The author read the letter. Written by a German captain whose name was happened on the Christmas Eve. Okay, now the second part of the story comes. The British and Germans were at war. Both armies were standing in their trenches on Christmas morning. Someone from the German side was waving off the white flag. Then they were calling out to the British soldiers. That is, stop. German soldiers are Brits. They were wishing Happy Christmas to the British soldiers, who wished them back in Britain. Surprisingly, some German soldiers were moving towards them. The captain was alarmed as he thought that he might attack them, but it turned out that they brought German wine and canned German wine. What was that? This Schnapp and canned sausage along with them. They hugged one another and celebrated Christmas. There were no guns between them. In the middle of the war, they were trying to make peace. A German officer moved toward Macpherson, whose name was Hans Wolff. He shook hands and introduced himself as Hans Wolff Düsseldorf. He said that he loved to play the cello in the orchestra and greeted Macpherson for Christmas. In return, Macpherson also introduced himself as a school teacher of Dorset. Hans Wolff smiled and said he knew about Dorset. Although he had never visited Dorset or been to England either, about England from school as he had read books in English. His favorite writer was Thomas Hardy, and his favorite book was Far from the Madding Crowd. Dusseldorf and Macpherson also share a Christmas cake together. Hans Wolff told Jim that the marzipan was the best he had ever tasted. Macpherson mentioned in his letter that this was a wonderful Christmas party that they had never ever seen. Okay, now suddenly another soldier brought out the football on the ground. The British and some German soldiers played a friendly match. Macpherson and Dusseldorf clapped and cheered the soldiers. Jim Macpherson wished that the problem between the two nations could be resolved by a football match instead of saying so because in a football match no one dies, neither do children get nor do the soldiers' wives become widows. Finally, the football match came to an end. The Germans won the match. Soon after, everyone had drinks and enjoyed. Macpherson reached Düsseldorf and told him that they would meet again with their families. He left with a gentle note that when the fight ended, they all could go home and enjoy quality time with their respective families. Düsseldorf saluted Macpherson and walked away slowly and unwillingly. That night, the German soldiers were heard singing a Christmas carol. The soldiers, English soldiers, also gave them a rousing chorus of while Schaefer watched. While concluding the letter, Macpherson wrote to Tony that all those moments were the happiest memories of his life. He ended the letter with the hope that the war would end soon. Both armies longed for peace, and he would return to Dorset soon, and they would be able to spend time together again. After reading the letter, the author put back the letter into the envelope. He decided to keep the letter home in the next morning, he woke up early and went to Bridport. He reached house number 12 and found the house in a burned out shed. He knocked on the door of the next house to inquire about the whereabouts of Mrs. Macpherson. An old man staying in the neighborhood that said that her house caught fire, probably due to the burning of candles. However, she was saved by the fireman and was admitted to a nursing home in Burlington House on Dorchester Road that was on the other side. Later, the author went there and found Mrs. Macpherson was an old lady who was confined to a wheelchair at the Burlington House nursing home. The matron offered him a mince pie to eat, introduced himself to Mrs. Macpherson as her husband's friend who had come to visit her on Christmas. He wished her and handed over the tin box containing her husband's last letter to her. At that moment, her eyes lit up with recognition and her face was filled with a certain glow of happiness. The author explained that he had come to visit her as he brought a Christmas present for her and explained about the roll top desk. Mrs. Macpherson's eyes were filled with tears and she was completely lost in thoughts. She assumed that the author was her husband and asked him to sit beside her. She expressed that she missed him badly all the years when he was away fighting the war. Besides, she also said that she prepared a nice Christmas cake, marzipan, all around for him because she knew how much he relished it. Thus, the story ends with a note that Mrs. Macpherson mistook author for her long-awaited husband for whom she had been waiting for many years. So, what is the conclusion of this story? This chapter, The Best Christmas Present in the World, conveys to students a moral lesson that war only brings sadness and pain, right? Soldiers who fight a war and get killed in it lose their family lives in the process. Therefore, countries should follow the path of peace to attain happiness and harmony among people in the world. Here we brought you the CBSC Class 8 English Honey Dew Pro summary of the best Christmas present in the world. So I hope this chapter uh, is very, you will find this chapter very beautiful, heart touching. Also, I hope this summary will help you understand the chapter परफेक्टली. मैंने हिंदी में एक्सप्लेन पूरी चीज़ कर दी है. यहाँ पे इंग्लिश का एक समरी अच्छे से मैंने वापस से दिया है, ताकि क्वेश्चन आंसर्स करने में और भी ज़्यादा तरीके से आसान हो, आपको चैप्टर अच्छी तरीके से समझ आ जाए, ताकि जो अंदर से अगर क्वेश्चंस आए, एमसीक्यूज वगैरह आए, तो आप इन डिटेल उसको कर पाओ. सो आई विल डेफिनेटली